Alright, who thought they would be tuning in to see another Dragon deck profile from me? Well, you're wrong. Today I'm going to be profiling my Fluffal deck. So yeah, again, Fluffal's just like DDs is another non-Dragon archetype that I really love to play. And also, since it's from the Arc 5 era, and everyone should know by now, I love Arc 5 decks. I have a lot of Arc 5 decks. If anything, most of my collection is made up of Arc 5 decks themselves. And again, Fluffals was just one of the standout Arc 5 decks that I absolutely used to love playing, especially like the fact that, you know, it's an OTK deck. And normally I'm not really a big fan of OTKs, but I really like catching my opponent like off guard, just with like, you know, the consistency power of Frightfurs, and like how, you know, something like this sort of a deck can like OTK your opponent out of like nowhere, just like with Cyber Dragons themselves. But I feel like Fluffals could do it just much better than Cyber Dragons themselves. But yeah, unfortunately though, like, you know, this build is not really much of like an OTK build. But if you want to see an OTK build, let me know down in the comment section, and I could definitely bring a profile showcasing like the OTK version. With this deck, it's more of a, like, you know, more of a controlling with a bit of a stun element in it, because it's so hard, just like with Cyber Dragons now, it's like so hard to OTK your opponent now in these formats. Like, the best way to like play decks now is have, like, you know, the great consistency, but also it's like some stun elements to the deck, so then, you know, it catches your opponent off surprise. And again, I'm going to be showcasing, you know, this new variant that I've made of Fluffals itself. And I'll admit, it was quite a challenge even making this deck, because, like, again, I'm so used to OTKing with this deck, and now it's like I've turned it into a bit more of a stun build itself. But anyways, let's start off with the profile. We play 3 dogs. You have to play 3 dogs, like, you know, it's a silly idea, like, seeing someone play 1 copy or like 2 copies of dog, because this searches pretty much like all the cards that you need to get your engine going itself. And like, you know, he's 1700, he's level 4, so you can like do some rank 4 plays with him himself, so it's absolutely brilliant. You have to play this card definitely, you know, at 3. Next we play Free Bet. Free Bet is again another essential piece to the combo, and pretty much with wings gets your combos going, get those toy vendors set. You have to play 3 of this. Like, I've seen people play 2, and I feel like that's the wrong ratio, especially if you're going for more of a, you know, a bit of a stunny build with Fluffals. You want to see toy vendor, you want to see bear, you need to get that consistency to make up for, like, you know, some stun cards that you put in the deck itself. So that's why you have to max out again on the 3 bears. And like I mentioned earlier, you have to play 3 wings. People played this at 2, and I understand why you played at 2, and I can vouch for why you played at 2. However, like I said, since you've added a bit of a stun, well, I've added a bit of a stun element to this deck, you kind of need to max out on your consistency cards, and you need to see Fluffal wings in your hand as soon as possible, along with, like, you know, bear or even a dog to search out one of the combo pieces. Now, for the one-offs, we played the 1 cat, because you really do recycle through, well, rinse through your polys very quickly, so you need something like cat to get the polys back to your hand as soon as possible. Then we play out. This is pretty much your out to Nat Beast, because Nat Beasts are, especially back in the day, like, seeing a Nat Beast was pretty much extend your hand, say GG, because you're going to lose it, unless you still had the out in your deck. And plus, he searches out polymerization, so he's another way to, you know, add the poly in case you haven't opened up a card that searches out your poly. Now, Penguin. Now, this is a very controversial one. I only need 1 of it, because, like, most of the time, I never use his, like, you know, normal summon effect, basically, just special something from the hand. I normally use him for the draw effects, mainly, but then again, you know, sometimes I don't tend to use the draw effect that much. Sometimes I might even just use his normal summon effect. So I just feel like, you know, when I'm doing a game, I only get 1 of these effects off, so that's why I only just really need 1 copy of it itself. And then we play Fluffal Sheep. Yeah, Fluffal Sheep. Back in the day, you used to play multiples of him because, you know, links and everything. But now, we don't play links that much, so we only just need, you know, 1 of him. And plus, he helps to recycle or bring back your Egypt chains or, like, sabers from the graveyard to the field. So, yeah, you play just 1 of each. You just need 1 of each, in my opinion. Alright, for the Egypt monsters, we play 3 Egypt chain. This is the best Egypt in the deck until the Egypt Scythe comes out itself. Brilliant card. You rarely use his first effect, where you can just, like, add a Frightfur card. Oh, wait, no, not Frightfur card. Add another copy of him if he attacks. But if he's sent to the graveyard, you can add a Frightfur card from your deck to your hand. So he searches out your Frightfur Fusion, your Frightfur Factory, or anything that has, like, Frightfur in the name. He pretty much gets it to your hand as soon as possible. And then we play 1 Sabers. Sabers isn't the best, but you need it for your Tiger, mainly, and your Wolf. So you have to play at least 1 copy of Sabers. Right, onto this, a little bit of, like, some stun cards. You play 2 of Veiler. Yeah, I don't need to say much. Veiler just, again, helps to negate any, like, pesky monster effects on the field, and it's still a great hand trap to this day. Then we play 2 Ash Blossom. Yeah, you have to play Ash Blossom to, you know, negate anything that searches. There's so many cards that search in this format, so you need both the Ash Blossom and the Veilers. Definitely to stop things from happening. Right, next, one of the best spell cards in the deck, Toy Vendor. I am so shocked this is not banned. Like, this card is just absolutely broken, especially with wings. Like, if you have wings in your grave, you banish the wings and a Fluffal, and then I think, yeah, you just, like, pop this card, you draw 2 cards, and then you get the search of the Toy Vendor. That is, again, is just absolutely broken, and you can get this to your field with Bear so quickly. And then, another broken card in the deck, Frightful Patchwork. Yeah. Just add the Poly, add the Edge Imp. It's just too good. And plus, it's searchable off your Edge Imp chain as well. It's just, yeah. It's a good thing this is all once per turn. If this was not a once per turn, Christ, like, the amount of silly plays you can do with that card would just be off the chart. Now, free polymerization. You have to run the OG polymerization, in my opinion. I don't like the, you know, the other version of Poly. I've always hated that version of Poly. This is the go-to Poly that you play in every deck. Like, you know, it's the original Poly from the original series, and you have to play the holoed version, of course. You can't play a common version of polymerization, especially in that, in that artwork. Now, Fusion Recovery. Like Cat, pretty much the same principle. You add the Fusion back because you use polymerization so quickly. And then also being able to add back extra monster just, again, helps you to extend your combos much, much quickly. Now, another controversial one, Frightful Fusion. Now, I am so against this card being at 1 because sometimes, well, especially with this build, like, you know, you use it the first one, then you're like, I really regret not having the second one because sometimes the second one always comes up. And especially with me, always comes up, in my opinion. So that's why you have to at least run 2 copies of it. Frightful Factory, again, you know, you rinse through your polys so quickly, so it's nice to have something like this to act like as a continuous polymerization. And again, it's searchable, so you only need like 1 copies. And another broken card in the deck, Foolish Burial Goods. Like I said earlier, since you play quite a bit of stun, you need to have as many consistency cards in your deck, so then you can, like, you know, open up the Toy Vendor, or get like the dog, or the bear, or the wings to your hand. Foolish Burial Goods, just send the Toy Vendor so you can pretty much, you know, search. If anything, this is pretty much a reinforcement of the army for the deck itself. And then for the final main deck cards, we have to play the 3 Called by the Grave, because if your opponent Ash Blossoms or Veilers you are in a very, very tight position, in my opinion. So it's good to at least, like, have this in your hands so you can get your combos going. So yeah, you don't really need to talk much about that. Now, my favorite part of the deck, the extra deck, we play 2 Frightful Tiger. Yeah, pretty much such a deadly card. I see people play this at 1. I still disagree. It's great to have the second one just in case, in my opinion, because, like, this card is just, again, it's just too OP. Again, I'm surprised it's not banned in any way, because that card should technically be banned. Now, Sabers. Yes, Sabertooth. Absolutely broken. Use 2 non-edge imps along with a... Actually, no, hang on, it's not. Yeah, use a Frightful, 2 Fusion Frightful monsters. This thing can't be destroyed. In a nutshell. This thing is pretty much just going to be a big shield and a big wall to, like, your opponent. Like, they ain't getting over this. Pretty much, so yeah, you don't need to really talk much about that. Frightful Sheep. Not many people play this card. I still like to play the 1 because it's a nice, good, like, you know, if you open up with a bad hand, you just, like, put this along with the Sabers, and that's pretty much an impenetrable wall. Your opponent ain't getting over no time soon, so yeah. Next, we play the 2, well, I like to call it Quacken, but it is called Kraken. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Just be able to send signs to the graveyard, and also if it attacks, it goes to defense mode. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, great addition to the deck, in my opinion. Then, Frightful Wolf. Now, a lot of people don't play this card anymore, but I still like to play it. Like, a nice, great combo, which I'll show to you guys later on through the extra deck. Like, there is a nice combo that you could do with, like, Frightful Wolf and Sheep. But again, I will get to that later. Right. Play the 1 Daredevil. This is pretty much your beat stick for the deck. Like, you know, if you're having any problems getting over anything, Daredevil comes out and just gets rid of it much, much quickly. Now, onto the XZ monsters. For the rank force, we play the 1 Exciton Knight. I like Exciton Knight being able to just, like, you know, destroy the board, basically. Or, like, you know, if you're in a losing situation, he comes out and just takes care of any boards you're going against. Abyss Dweller is always a great stun card, in my opinion. And plus, since we run Penguin, he will gain the 500 and negates anything that activates in the grave. I play a little Utopia package, kind of similar like with Daredevil. If I'm facing something that's really, really big, then these 2 pretty much just come in handy. And now, my little sweet tech, not many people play this, but I play the Photon Strike Bouncer because, as I mentioned earlier, with Tiger and Wolf, this is pretty much the OG OTK. If you're unable to OTK your opponent with Wolf and Tiger, what you can do is you can just overlay these two, go into Bouncer as like, you know, a little backup option, and Bouncer can negate, you know, a monster effect, and it deals 1,000 damage, so you can just burn your opponent for like the remaining life points they have. It's always a great combo. I love doing this combo, especially back in the day. So yeah, that's why I run the one Bouncer himself. So yeah, that is pretty much my Fluffal deck profile. Again, let me know in the comment section what you thought about it. I would love to play the OTK version, but again, OTKs just don't work. It's like, if you look at the Cyber Dragon build, because like Cyber Dragon is also the pure essence of OTK, like a lot of people are giving up on playing the OTK version. They have to put some sort of like, you know, stun version in it, and I definitely, you know, recommend, you know, check out Team APS. He's a prime example. He loves playing his Cyber Dragons, and I agree with him that playing Cyber Dragons as an OTK deck just doesn't work at all. You have to incorporate, you know, hand traps. You need to incorporate stuff that will, you know, stop your opponent from, like, you know, stopping your plays, basically, as a whole. So, yeah, again, you go, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, as always, and have a great day, guys. And always remember to stay safe, especially during these dark times. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.